Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Whereas the city of Derby will soon take on the aspect and the spirit of festivity in Derby's 300th celebration, forthcoming on May 31 through June 8, I hereby proclaim that in memory of our pioneer forefathers of various nationalities who combined together and founded our community a full 3 centuries past, any and all men working or residing within the confines of the city of Derby are hereby requested that from this date until June 8th to refrain from appearing in places where men gather to enjoy one and another's company, or to assemble at the meeting houses on the Sabbath or in any public place with faces that have been completely shaven. And now, of course, we have an equally appropriate proclamation concerning behavior of ladies and what ladies will have to do during our tercentennial. I'll have my wife Diane read that.
We do hereby proclaim that in memory of their pioneer great-great-grandmothers, we and all members of the feminine sex working or residing within the confines of Derby and a goodly portion of those in the surrounding areas are requested from this day forward to refrain from appearing in public or on the highways while wearing lipstick, rouge, eyeshadow, powder, mascara, false eyelashes, nail polish, perfume, or jewelry until such time as they shall join Derby's darling damsels and obtain the official tercentenary bell button. Such membership pins with a certificate shall permit the wearer to use the aforementioned feminine accessories.
Welcome and thank you very much for coming. We have done a lot of work, yes. We're going to do a lot more work, and we hope you are the people that are going to do it with us, because you're going to have a ball. We're going to start on May 30th at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're not going to go to sleep until June 8th. At 1 o'clock in the morning, you can go to sleep. As I said before, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're going to hit you with everything in the book.
Your smiling face seems to say to me, I know you're from my own land, my sunny homeland. Tell me, can it be? I'm from Dixie. I said from Dixie, where the fields of garden beckon to me. I'm glad to see ya. Tell me I'll be ya, and the friends I'm longing to see. If you're from Alabama, Tennessee, or Carolina, or any place below the Mason-Dixon line, if you're from Dixie, hooray for Dixie, 'cause I'm from Dixie. Oh, let me ask you, are you from Alabama, Tennessee, or Caroline? Any place below the Mason-Dixon line? Then you're from way down upon the Swanee River. Dixie, really from Dixieland. Way down south.
100 years before this nation proclaimed its liberty, Derby, Connecticut was founded. 300 years later, these people celebrate the event. They are of different ages, nationalities, hopes, and desires, but all commemorating the accomplishments of those who came before them. In the process, they leave their own mark on a given moment of time.
Our General Chairman, Frank Ogle.
First of all, the first thing I'd like to do is introduce the people that done the work. I can't introduce all of them because there's thousands of them right now. Assistant to the General Chairman and my right arm, David Condon. Vice Chairman, Nelson Bonai. Headquarters Chairman, John Bartimo, Babe Paupini. Treasurer, Armando Ray D'Amico, the man with the money. Recording Secretary Bonnie Cheverella. Corresponding Secretary Joy Fletcher. She picks us up when we're down. Student Activities James Henry LaRue. Decorations Steve Maximenko. Insurance, Gerald Mascarello. Revenue Division, Bruce Sill and Joe Ahern. Participation Division, Michael and Mary Bogdan. Spectacle Ticket Division, John Getline, Maureen Murphy. Spectacle Division, Marie Smith, Mary Lou Licata. Publicity Division, Valerie Wazalewski and Joan Mazer. And as Bill said, my wife, Mary, who has put up with me for a couple of years now of this.
Wants to present the Betsy Ross flag, which is the closest flag that we could present to you, knowing that it's your 300th birthday, and this is the first flag of the nation.
It is officially open.
The celebration started on a Friday with the Colonial Animal Farm, but I'm sure that some of the animals were never viewed by our founders. The youngsters didn't seem to mind, though. They just joined in and had fun.
Yeah, children, I mean everybody. Is that adults and children? No, Barb. What money was that? I don't know. Yeah. Ponies they got home, so they don't need that. But,
Look at me. What kind of animals are there?
Sheep.
One of the most ambitious projects undertaken by the Tercentennial Commission was the building of a settler's village. And who better to build it than our city's schools? Every school was involved: St. Mary's, St. Michael's, Franklin, Bradley, Irving, Lincoln, the Derby Middle School, and the Derby High School. Under the auspices of Dr. Angelo Dorenzo, the elementary school principals were authorized to participate in the Settlers Village by sponsoring 2 projects. These projects were decided upon by the students and built by the teachers, students, and parents. Isaac Hull, probably the most famous son of the city of Derby, was the commander of Old Ironsides during the War of 1812. He came to fame on Old Ironsides by beating the English ship Guerriere in one of the decisive battles of that war. About a month before the celebration, 61 residents of the city of Derby got together in colonial costume and took a bus trip to Boston to visit Old Ironsides and to visit with Commander Tyrone Martin, the present-day commander. It was very interesting to note that Old Ironsides is still a commissioned Navy vessel and has to make 1 trip a year under sail in order to retain that commission.
Commander, we want to present this from the city of Derby for our 300th tercentenary.
Thank you very much, sir. We receive it with great pleasure. And it's my plan to keep this in safe storage until the next time we have to again step a mast in Old Ironsides. At that time, in keeping with old sailor tradition, we will place this medallion beneath the mast as it's being stepped for good luck and for continued union with Constitution through the coming centuries, we hope.
And this one here goes to the museum from the city of Derby also.
Again, thank you, and on behalf of the museum, I'm sure they will display it proudly over there, and all the more so when its mate is under the mast, so that all Americans can see exactly what it looks like and know of the link between the USS Constitution and through Isaac Hull with Derby, Connecticut.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now.
Great.
Let me do this one first. Commander Martin, on behalf of the city, we'd also like to present you with a bronze replica of the coin, so
thank you.
Could keep it at your home for your family.
I'll prize that.
And we look forward to you coming down on June 8th to our parade and being a guest of honor and letting you parade with your family.
Well, thank you, and I and my family look very much to that trip.
We're glad to have you come down. Okay, and these 2 gentlemen.
You want?
Yeah. You can get
Here, I'll move over to the side there if you want.
While on the tour of the ship, Commander Martin pointed out the cramped living quarters, and it was very evident to all present that it must have been difficult for the men of the Constitution to survive on that ship, as below decks, some of the ceilings were only 4 feet high. Commander Hull's cabin was very austere, containing only a bunk, a desk, and a small table on which he plotted the victories which brought him fame in the War of 1812.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
Okay, we'll all make a pledge to meet here next 300 years.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
I may be a little late.
Thank you, sir.
There's maybe a little late.
You're going to zap her going to be a little weekend.
In keeping with the mayor's proclamation, beards appeared in abundance. And what could be more fitting than a contest to judge the results? No matter what type of beard a person grew, there was an award, even for the ugliest beard.
What do you think of the celebration?
The celebration of 300 years means only one thing, that 300 years ago, the people that came here, the first people that came here from England, that settled in Derby, they must have felt the same way as I do. Because I settled here 45 years ago. They came before me, they settled the same way. They settled because Derby had something to offer. And that's what these people did, and that's what I did, and I hope that everybody else after me will do the same thing.
These are our boys. Let's hear it for them.
A motorcade of old fire trucks was part of the fireman's muster, and neighboring towns turned out to join the celebration.
Storm Engine Company, number 7. Haddam Neck. West Haven Fire Department, number 6. Allingtown Fire Department, number 1. Jenaganslet Engine Company, number 1. Halen Farms, Orange, Connecticut, with a woman driver. How about that woman's lib, huh? They drive fire trucks now. That's the one Frank Ogle used to pull. Ansonia Fire Department, Hilltop Hose. Great Hill Muster Team, Seymour.
To bring about all of the events took many hours of committee meetings, 2.5 years of them. And probably more time was spent in planning each event than the event itself.
It is very good to see most of the committee heads present at this meeting. And now, Bill Comboni, chairman of the Special Events Committee, would you please give us a report on the Queen's Coronation Ball?
Our ball will be held Saturday, May the 31st, at the Gloucester Street Armory in the Haven. Dancing will be from 9 p.m. until 2 a.m. All parking will be at Bowen Field, with free shuttle bus service to and from the Army, which is approximately a minute's ride. Subscription is $25 per couple. Invitations must be presented at the door. Our guest of honor will be the Governor, El Grasso. And during the course of the evening, the Governor will crown the Tercentennial Queen and will also be entertained by the Mattituck Drum Band. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
And what a night it was, with dignitaries, officials, and guests ushered into the ball to the beat of the Mattituck Drum Band. Elaborate gowns, uniforms, and powdered wigs. The clothing styles of 300 years provided the color and pageantry of the gathering.
And as the temperature rose, the splendidly clothed gentlemen and their heavily dressed ladies realized that their settling ancestors endured trials which extended far beyond taxation, the crown, or tea in Boston's harbor.
Governor Ella Grasso spoke about our 300th anniversary, and it was a real pleasure having Ella there with us at our anniversary.
Tercentenary always provides an opportunity for reflection on a great and wonderful heritage of a great and wonderful community. And the people now have had their chance to talk about things past that helped to build the town to talk about the present, and with that, to have courage and dedication and spirit for all of the future.
You know, no matter how hot it got that night, just marching down that aisle with the Matatuck band playing sent chills up everybody's spine. I think that probably has to be one of the highlights of the whole 10-day celebration for myself and my wife, because that was just something that you don't experience every day of your life.
I guess that's the way I feel about it. I guess it was one of my proudest nights, and so proud to be with my wife and walk down through that, you know, through that aisle of people. It was just a fabulous, fabulous thing to do.
I think that if I had to pick one night that would culminate 2.5 years of anticipation of the celebration, it would have to be the night of the ball. Just seeing all those people costumed there, your neighbors, your friends from all over the city, come there in one assembled mass and just have a fantastic time, regardless of the adverse weather conditions and the heat and whatever else that happened. It was just a fantastic thing, and I don't think anybody left early. Everybody stayed right to the bitter end and had a great time.
And as is proper for any ball, dancing continued far into the night. Sports and Recreation Day provided fun for the kids, and just a bit of confusion for the adults.
Everybody ready? Get up. Go!
A lot of recognition has to go to the Recreation Commission, Red Clinch, Al Vitello, and Bob Ahern, as well as the coaches, Ray Altieri, Charlie DeCenzo, and Diane Chaconis, who put hundreds of hours in preparing for Sports and Recreation Day.
Boy, them kids really ran around. They really had a ball.
Well, to tell you the truth, I think the adults had just as good a time watching them as they had run.
Just to remind the men to grow beers, we had a ceremonial burying of the razor. To the light of torches and to the patter of rain, most naturally, we dutifully made our way to the burying spot. Come to think of it, we had rain for quite a few events, but it didn't dampen enthusiasm. Speaking of burying things, how about the time capsule?
I think the nicest thing that can be said about the time capsule is the fact that many of our citizens decided to write letters to grandchildren that aren't even born yet. And I'm sure that these grandchildren and great-grandchildren will get a kick out of reading letters from ancestors which they would have never had the chance to meet. A drizzling rain also greeted Religious Heritage Day, when all the churches of Derby reflected on the roles they had played in the development of the community and the nation. Even with the rain, everyone attended, and most in costume.
The weather finally broke, and the delightful June sun welcomed the women of Derby to a silver tea on the green.
On the green, we had the costume parade. That was lovely. We had judging of the costumes that the women had either put together from things they had in their attics or had made new or had purchased from our store. We served a silver tea. The ladies of the Hotchkiss Hose Company did that for us. And the little children who were costumed looked so dainty and old-fashioned and quiet and serene, and it just was a whole different atmosphere.
Will 86 please come up front? 86. 86 for most original.
That's most
Okay,
original.
Congratulations. For most authentic, 126. Best mother and daughter, 31. Best family portrait group, we have a tie, number 6 and 9.
Number 6 first.
6 first.
Look at the camera, little girl.
Look at the camera, honey.
The White Collar Girls Luncheon was the highlight of our day. The Naugatuck Valley Business and Professional Women were the hosts for this. And as it was International Women's Year, worldwide, we were happy to honor all the women who have made their mark in the Valley and all over the state. Our principal speaker was Gloria Schaefer. There were 2 ministers on the podium, lady ministers from our town, And we also have a circuit judge, Joanne Kiley Kulowitz. About 450 people came to celebrate. We presented each person with one of our commemorative plates. And so they have that as a nice souvenir for the rest of the time.
Hey, the kids are still at it, but it looks like they finally got it organized. Well, partially organized. You know, we celebrate the past, but right here is our future. Every one of these youngsters. And they've learned a lot this past week about what it takes to make a town grow into a city.
Out there in the field are future mayors, businessmen, just great, beautiful kids, every one of them. Good, good.
Come on, let's go. Move it, move it, move it, move it. Run, run, run. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, quick.
Go.
Okay, next guy up.
Move it, move it. All right, move, all the way.
Jimmy, what's that pocket?
Come on, Kathy, come on.
Come on, Kathy. Let's go, Kathy. Keep putting fast now. Run.
Of course, Dave Binkowski, 10.7 seconds.
Derby, Connecticut is part of an industrial valley, and its people are of many nationalities. In their past, the hard-working immigrants who sought freedom and opportunity. The strength and joy, the beauty of their heritage is seen today.
Hey, baklava! Homemade baklava! Forget the diets today.
Oh, good boy. Macie piękne pisanki, co chcecie więcej? Wszystko co jest polskie. Polska rzeźba.
Laten na fate baklava, korabiewy, spitas, manakopica, fate spaj, and laten na fate to the police.
No, we have lobster rolls, calamine sauce.
Adesso facciamo una marzucca alla bicca.
Fun and frivolity are a part of all people, and a sense of humor is a great gift. To make fun of our errors is a human right, and, based on history, the Kangaroo Court rightfully deserves a high degree of ridicule. Did this group do it justice? You be the judge.
There was even an original musical play dedicated to Derby's 300th celebration. Written by Bob LaRocco and presented by the Valley Regional Community Theater, it was about the political fame and folly of a Derby mayor and lawyer. On his way up the political ladder, called Party Games, it was a giant success.
Certain stars on the flag, one for Connecticut, my homeland. Sing the robin return after winter break, bobbing the leaves by return like the colors of an artist's day. With a shining story, it will stand eternally as America's white old colony. 13 stars on the flag, one for Connecticut, my
Small children everywhere love to watch a parade, but when you let them have one of their own, their parade, it's an experience not readily forgotten.
They don't play parade, they live it. Every delightful moment.
Oh, Johnny, look at Big Bird! Oh, look at Big Bird!
Besides giving the town a chance to celebrate, it also gave many of its citizens the chance to act in a great spectacular.
Hats off to Derby was a nightly spectacular, a pageant of Derby's history and its people, and a welcome to the Festival Queen.
Each night on a huge stage, a cast of hundreds reenacted the growth of Derby and the nation. From the founding fathers, through the early days of Derby's churches and schools, the role of its working people, and their moments of play. And in this pageant, traced the history of the city, right up to the present time. Entertainment in years past was what you made it, and that on a Saturday night meant square dance. As time passed, styles changed. And so, in the spectacular, the younger generation picked up the show and brought us up to date. All of these events and celebrations led to the day of the big parade, the final day. It opened overcast, and gray clouds threatened to unleash yet another downpour. Even though everyone had almost gotten used to it, the assembling units were more than a little anxious. Cars were assigned, and all through the assembly area, marchers, bands, floats, and the officials gathered. spectators were ready, rain or shine. This was billed as the biggest and brightest parade Derby in the Valley had ever seen.
The parade began right on time. The Derby Police Color Guard, led by Chief Andrew Mancini. The Grand Marshal, Harry Ogle, with his son Keith, and Colonel Dick Lacey. Next, the Governor's Foot Guard passed the reviewing stand, and for the first time of the day, the sun came out. Congressman Ron Sarrazin, Attorney General Carl Agello, Senator Lowell Weicker, Mayor Kelly of Shelton, First Selectman Anna Lopresti of Seymour, and Mayor Michael Adante of Ansonia.
Derby High School Marching Band.
Next, the Honorable Mayor Mitchie. First car, Alderman Nardi Bonanto. Alderman and Mrs. Ed Ciccarelli. Corporation Counsel Jamie Cohen and his wife. Alderman Fred Batone, Alderman Elmer Wojtek. Anthony Papini and Mike and Mary Bogdan. Valerie Wasilewski. Jim LaRue, Marie Smith, Mary Lou Licata. Steve Maximenko. Joan Mazier. Our treasurer, Ray D'Amico. Revenue, Bruce Sill. Joe Ahern. Bill Comboni, charge of special events. Nelson Bonai. Mr. and Mrs. David Condon. Mrs. Mitchie, Robert Shortell, photographer.
American Legion Post number 45, Redford.
David Manley, Marshal of the Division.
Jersey Town Pipe Band. The Franklin School Club. The Pagasset Hook and Ladder Company number 4. The Irving School Days float. There's 90,000 napkins on this float, ladies and gentlemen. 90,000 napkins. Thanks, Henry. Here comes the Derby Middies. John H. Collins Post, American Legion, Derby, Connecticut. Washington Park, combination drum corps. performing at the Derby, Shelton High School's marching band. Here's our brothers from across the river, the Echo Hose. Shriner's Fire Brigade from Pittsburgh, Connecticut. They fight burns at the Boston Hospital. Here they are, Harvey Alderman and the Connecticut Hurricane. Nice job, Harvey. National champions in 1967 and the state championships as long as I can remember. Pyramid Temple, pipe and drum band. Followed by the Woodbridge Fire Department. Remember, there's a beer fest in Carnival, which will run till 10 o'clock tonight, followed by a gigantic, take care of that, followed by a gigantic fireworks display. Thank you very much for coming.
And many a thirst was quenched that afternoon following the parade at a celebration beer fest. Derby 300 souvenir mugs were put to heavy use. And as the kegs poured forth their cooling beverage, crowds gathered, and the stands filled to capacity for a final giant fireworks display.
It's all over. We've had 2.5 years of it, a lot of fun, 1,500 people to help us out, and I just gotta thank everybody in the city of Derby for the fantastic help that they've given us to run this celebration. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and that's it.
And so it ended, with all the glory and joy with which it was begun. Derby 300, a celebration of the past, the present, and the future.